So, we have some important yet enjoyable decisions to make. On the one hand, you need to acquire your preferred weapons and gear. On the other, you need to acquire your getaway vehicle. We'll need to steal both. These can't be traced back to us. Where would you like to start? Alright, sending you the target coordinates now. I'm sending you surveillance images of the gangs we're heading. Get a good look. As I'm sure you know, our operation requires weapons and gear that can't be traced back to us. The good news is that this city is crawling with gangs carrying that kind of contraband. Half of them in cahoots with this very police department. So today we're gonna confiscate one cache of weapons and one stash of gear. If any of it ends up getting traced after our raid, it'll lead to these reprobates instead of us. I've sent you the coordinates of some appropriate targets. You don't need to hit them all. My advice is to investigate your options. Determine which gang is gonna have a loadout that suits your preferences, and prioritize accordingly. As I was saying earlier, we need weapons and we need equipment. That's armor and masks. We don't want anyone at the Cluckin factory catching a glimpse of your memorable face. I'm well acquainted with this gang's status in these parts. Seems their gear and weapons are positively adequate, along with their security. I've read this group's file several times over. Seems they run a tight operation, not to be underestimated. We're not talking military levels of security, but they're no petty criminals either. So watch your six, and don't get sloppy or they'll have the upper hand. They're on to you. Watch your six. Be prepared to execute evasive maneuvers. There should be both weapons and gear at these locations. Once you're satisfied, I strongly advise that you move everything to the lockup. If you're feeling voracious, you can hit more than one gang and seize any extra equipment. Whatever you get, we'll make sure it's available to you when we hit the factory. If you revisit any group that was previously graced with your presence, they will not be so welcoming again, especially if you're there for one of their cars.
You cocksucker! Shit!
Alright, weapons and gear in the bag. These should be sufficient to take us another step towards our date with the cartel. Then all we'll need is a getaway vehicle. It's all coming together out there. That should suffice for our purposes. If you want more options, be my guest. When you're ready, just send me a message confirming the equipment you want to use. Roger that. Got it. I'll keep the other options on standby. Dependable as usual. Good job. Now that you've secured all the weapons and gear necessary to take on a Cluckin factory overrun by the cartel, we should discuss your means of escape.